Back on TYT Sports, back with Andre Snellings. We're going to keep it topical because Christmas Day games were fantastic. A great slate, including the most anticipated Cavs versus Warriors game. TYT Sports, we talked a little bit about it before it happened. Now we want to talk a little bit more about what happened during the broadcast. Mark Jackson put together that Golden State Warriors team. We know that. Now Steve Kerr took them to a whole new level, and Luke Walton has brought them to I guess off the charts. I don't really even know what to say. He's the greatest head coach of all time, according to record. He's 0-0 and the Western Conference Coach of the Month. But Mark Jackson said this during the game. Steph Curry's great. Steph Curry is the MVP, and he's a champion. Understand what I'm saying when I say this, which is probably like the worst way you could have introduced that part of it. But to a degree, he's hurt the game. And what I mean by that is that I go into these high school gyms, I watch these kids, and the first thing they do is they run to the three-point line. You are not Steph Curry. Work on the other aspects of your game. People think that he's just a knockdown shooter. That's not why he's the MVP. He's a complete basketball player. Andre, was it bitter or was it just true? Is there a lot of truth in what he's saying?
Bitter beer face. No, I think there's a lot of. He has a point in what he's saying. Like, he has a point that he's making. I don't think it was bitter. I don't know if I agree with the point, but, I can understand why he would say it. That you do, even before Curry, though, I would watch college basketball, or I would try to, and all you saw was either threes or dunks. There's the mid-range game has just gone away, and now the analytics at the NBA level is kind of arguing the same thing, that why take a 17-foot jumper when you could take a 20-foot three and it's a similar percentage and you get more points?
Of course.
So I guess the point is it can be annoying to just watch a game that's all three-pointers. And I think that's what Mark Jackson's trying to say. But the thing is, the best in the league always has copycats. He always influences the next generation. There's a reason why when I was a kid, shooting guards were 6'3", 6'4", like Joe Dumars. And then a generation later, everyone between 6'6" and 6'8" is trying to play the shooting guard because Michael Jordan came in and everybody wanted to be like Mike. You see the same thing, the big men. You had like the Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Webber, do different things type power forward come through. And now all 7-footers want to be that. They don't want to be centers. And so the purists might say, well, this hurts the game. I think it really just evolves the game. And so just like now, everybody's trying to hit the three. And so, yeah, some players aren't Steph Curry, but in the next generation, some players will be Steph Curry. And you'll have a group of really, really, really good three-point shooters. And we'll see how the game changes when that happens.
Yeah, I've always said, or not always said, I said at the beginning of this year, I thought Steph Curry's been a great role model just because it's a lot more realistic to be Steph Curry than it would ever be to be LeBron James, at least in today's NBA. LeBron is a gifted physical specimen. He's a trained, you can't stop him driving, and you have a very low chance of being 6'8", 9, 10, 260 pounds of pure muscle, right? Steph Curry, you can be about 6 feet tall and knock down threes like he is able to do. Granted, that's not just why Steph Curry is the MVP as Mark Jackson said. Now, there's a lot of internet rage on both sides of the aisle when it came to Mark Jackson's comments. But again, we were talking before the clip, they throw all these Warriors games right at Mark Jackson. So it's like we were waiting for a little bit of bitterness to come out. I don't think at all he's ruining the game. As you mentioned, he's evolving the game. And look, the Warriors are 29-1. We haven't seen a team with this type of capability, at least since the 96 Bulls. It provides such a great storyline. I don't know if you've lost any enjoyment of watching the Warriors play basketball, but I think it's as beautiful as watching the Spurs play basketball at most times. It is unbelievable to see them battle through some of the injuries they've had, and of course when they fall into that trap of getting into a three-point shootout like they did last night with the Kings, or 2 nights ago when this clip goes up with the Kings, it usually doesn't work in your favor.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have tried. Almost every team has failed except for the Bucks. Congratulations, Bucks.
Right. I don't know. The Bucks are like their kryptonite because even in the follow-up game, they had them up by 15 or whatever it was in the third or fourth quarter.
The Warriors must be crossing their fingers they don't meet the Bucks in the NBA Finals this year.
I don't think they have to worry about that.
But who knows? Anything could happen in the NBA. Real quick, so Curry said that, or at least the reports from Yahoo Sports, Mark Spears, Curry chuckled at Jackson's comments, but also seemed a little confused by them. That was his emphasis. I have to talk to him, Curry told Yahoo Sports. I don't know what he means by that. If you can shoot, shoot. If you can't, stop. Good point, Steph Curry. Warrior center Andre Bogut, who also played under Jackson, didn't appreciate his former coach's remarks, and he said, quote, anything he says, you can take that with a grain of salt, and you can quote me on that. Bitter Andrew Bogut butting heads with bitter Mark Jackson. Oh, the storylines. Regardless, we want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Mark Jackson's comments were bitter? Do you think there's some truth to it? Do you think we're overanalyzing, or do you think this is completely out of context? You can go any which route. Let's debate down in the comments section on whether or not Steph Curry is ruining the game of basketball. I really hate saying that because I don't think he is. It hurts me on the inside. Follow Professor DRZ on Twitter at Professor DRZ. That would be Andre Snellings. Again, make sure to check out rotowire.com for the daily fantasy lineup advice, and for the Hoops Lab column, comes out weekly. Great stuff there. We'll see you next time.